Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and it is time for our weekly simple and stepped up stamping. Every Thursday I come to you here on Facebook Live, and then this video gets uploaded to YouTube, and I do simple stamping. We start with the basics, and the basics for stamping for all stampers is stamp, ink, and paper. So that's what we're going to start with. Hi, Melissa. I'm glad you're here to join with me live. We are going to do a little kind of a winter thank you today. And Stamp It Up has a hashtag simple stamping movement. And each month we are given like parameters if we want to participate in the challenge of the month. And this month it is stamp, ink, and paper with a thank you message. So I'm going right in with that, and that way I can participate in that challenge as well. Hi, Gail. I'm glad you're here. And so I am doing a wintry thank you today, and it's a good thing. Here in San Antonio, South Central Texas, it is really, really chilly today. So many of you know we spent 9 years living in the UK, and our youngest son and his family live there now. Yeah, it feels like an English autumn day. It's very chilly, a little bit windy, and very damp. So it's what we call in our household English weather. Okay, I'm going to bring the camera down, and we are going to get stamping. Okay, I'm going to get you up on the computer for just a second here. And I'm going to show you a little bit of where we've been the last time or two that we have gathered for stamping together. I do like to do a little review of where we've been. I find that helpful for all of us. We always have new people joining us, and just a little, where we've been. So last week for simple and stepped up, I think the last 2 weeks I did paper pumpkin, simple and stepped up. But before that, probably end of October, Lord have mercy, we're in November. We did simple stamp, ink, and paper, and then we stepped up by adding some designer series paper, some ribbon, and even a little bit of color. And this is featuring the Reflected in Nature stamp set, really cool stamp set. So this is where we were last time that we were doing simple stamping that didn't involve paper pumpkin. I wanted to also show you briefly where we were on Tuesday, because Tuesday I do Teach Me Tuesday. So on Tuesdays we do a little bit of learning, and I see I've got Linda and Michelle up in New York. I bet it's cold up there too. Jackie, and so welcome, ladies. So this is where we were on Tuesday this week. We were also bringing in some chilly things. So on this card, we were using the Arctic Bears. We used just the stamps on this card. And then we used the dies as well on this one and added in some designer series paper. We were using the Snowflakes, the wonderful Snowflakes, as a stencil for this card. And we just had some fun with this stamping. Okay, so today I am going to bring in this lovely Peaceful Deer stamp set, and the punch is on back order right now. In fact, I don't even think you can order it right now. But I will say the stamp set itself, the punch punches out, these two deer. I definitely would not want to fussy cut those, so I do appreciate the punch. It also has antlers, so that's fun. But I will say there's a lot to love in this stamp set. You can see there's a lot of stamps in here, and actually it has like I guess it's not two sleeves of stamps, just a lot of stamps in here. So I am going to use the little reclining deer. So these are the two little guys that I'm going to use. And I'm going to use one of my favorite products, and that is the note cards and envelopes. So these come in a pack of 20. They are already pre-scored and ready to go for you. which is great for new stampers, but it's something that I reach for over and over again. They're quick, they're easy, they're lovely, they're a great size. These mail for a single forever stamp if you're in the US. And I also like the fact that you don't have to write a whole lot inside to fill up the card. Now, sometimes I want to write. I'm a writer in the sense that I usually want to write more, not less. Not surprising because I'm a chatty girl. But I will say that it's nice to have the option of doing just a little bit. Now, I'm going to use my little reclining deer, and I'm going to use this tree. And I'm going to build a little bit of a scene. And although, hey, Jill, I'm glad you're here. Although I could go landscape, and I might do on the second for the stepped up card. I think I'm just going to go portrait for now. And I'm going to use something that I often do, even when I'm not using blends markers. I'm using a little layer. So what I like to do, this is kind of my cheater way to make sure that my note card always looks good. The note card finish size is 5 by 3.5. So I can either cut a piece of Whisper White or Basic White at 5 and 3.5. I bring it down just 1/4 inch and make it 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. No, this is 5.5 by 3. 5.5 by 3. Is that right? Lord have mercy. My brain, hang on. Let me get my, it's 5 by 3.5. Yeah, it is 5 by 3.5. I make these all the time. Yeah, it's 5 by 3.5. I'm second guessing myself. So 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. So what I like here is, because I'm going to be using blends markers, I don't want it to bleed through. But also, if I happen to mess up on my card, which I have been known to do, I don't want to have to start over and waste my note card. Now, I'm going to build my scene using a little bit of shaded spruce ink, and I'm using this small pair of trees, shaded spruce. Hey, Kathy, I'm glad you're here with us today. And I'm going to just stamp them once here, and then I'm going to stamp again and raise that image just a wee bit to give it the illusion of some depth. And then I'm going to stamp one more on the other side. So there's my little deer. Isn't he cute? Now, before I put my ink away, I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp my thank you. And I have a couple of options here. I do like to think about scale. So with this small images, I didn't want to have a big honkin' thank you up there. I wanted to have kind of a small one. So this is the stamp set I was just using on Tuesday, Arctic Bears, and there's a lovely little trim, rather tailored thank you. So I thought about using this, but I also like this script. And although this is a little bit larger, it's because the font is rather delicate. I thought that just might work. I think I kind of like that. I think it adds a little bit of a softness. So let me grab a block. That's something I forgot. And I will, while I'm adding a little bit of color to my deer, I am definitely up for some comments and some feedback. So, hey, Marlene, I'm glad you're here. And Susie, yeah, this is a cute little deer. I think he's adorable. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the cinnamon cider. It's actually really good for deer. And I am going to bring a white belly in for him. And I'm also going to leave his tail white. Here in Texas, we have white-tailed deer. So I thought, well, that would be kind of cute. I'll make him look like the deer that are all around us. We live with a lot of green belt around us. And what that means is the deer are in my yard eating everything. And so they are lovely. The grandkids love watching them. But they can also be a little bit of a nuisance. And I long ago figured out that they love roses. They love most flowers. And so, yeah, I don't try growing those in the front. I'm going to use just a little bit of the dark cinnamon cider just to give him a little bit of shading, a little bit of interest here. And just a little, and you know, that's what I love about these blends, is they give you the ability to add a little bit of interest like that, even when you're not artistic. And I'm decidedly not artistic. Now there's a little bit of extra shadow there, and I'm going to just come in here and blend it in so that I don't have any kind of harsh lines there. And I'm pretty happy with him. I think he looks really, really cute. Let me bring this down just a little bit more so you can see how cute he is. Now, one of the things I like to do when I'm making a scene, as it were, is I like to put a little bit of ground. You know, I don't want my trees and my deer to look like they're floating in midair. So I'm just taking the light Pool Party, and I'm just going to do a little bit like so. And that will actually look a little bit like a snow line, as well as just a little bit of ground. So boom, done. Quick, easy, really, really simple stamping. But look, I've made a scene. Super cute. I've just used one stamp set. And, you know, there are excellent greetings with the deer. Where did my stamp set go? Over here. And it's the best time of the year from all of us. Be cute with a gift card in there. Let's celebrate. You could even make that into a winter birthday. Sending love and peace this season. Wishing you a wonderful year and friendship, dear, which is super cute. And a Merry Christmas. It didn't have a thank you, and I definitely wanted a thank you. So I think that honestly, this in black is going to look super cute. So let's bring in, and this is another photopolymer stamp set, which makes it super easy to place. I think I'm going to place it maybe over here because I've got my deer over here offset just a wee bit. And I will put in a plug for this stamp set. And this is called Biggest Wish. I think it is a must-have stamp set. So if you don't have this on your wish list yet, I would encourage you to add it. It's only $17. And actually, Peaceful Deer gives you a lot for only $22 if you don't get the punch. If you add the bundle, you know, the punch bundle, you're going to increase a little bit. But look how cute all of these images are. Look at that little bunny. And the deer in so many different positions. You can make whole forests. Yeah, and then this little, this is like little deer tracks, I think. And this is like a little, it's like a little tiny garland with a little tiny bow. So what I'm going to do, you see how that bleeds through? That's what the blends do. So you always have to be mindful that it's going to bleed through on the other side. And because I don't want that to show on my note card, that is why I'm adding a layer. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the quick and easy way to make some winter thank you cards. Thank you cards for after Christmas, or just because, you know, somebody did something for you, or because they make a difference in your life. I think that thank you cards are always appropriate, not just for physical gifts. So there is our super, super simple stamping thanks card. Valerie, I'm glad you have this stamp set already and that you love it. Now we're going to do a stepped up version of this, because we can, and we do simple and stepped up on Thursdays here. So I'm going to take the same piece of little panel, which is 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. I'm going to once again stamp my little deer right here. So he's kind of off to the right side of my card. And then I'm going to, I'll have my black ink out now that we've settled on the scripty thanks. I will go ahead and put that up here like so. You know, you could easily make a whole set of these, actually make a really nice gift for Christmas, truth be told. And they also would make a nice gift for you, because then you have everything ready to go for after the holidays. Hey, Laura and Jackie. I'm glad you're liking my super simple thank you card. Now we're going to step it up just a wee bit. So let's go ahead and bring in our trees once again. And let's go here. And let's go here. Do it a little different than we did last time. And then one more over here. And now let's see what we can do with a little bit of extra, because we're going to add our snow line here. And let's just make it a little bit of a curvy snow line. Let's bring in our white-tailed deer once again. See, by giving him a little white belly, it just adds a little bit of interest. It doesn't take but just a minute longer. I'm accidentally done the whole deer in the dark cinnamon cider. C'est la vie. What I will do to give him a little bit of shading is I will bring in my color lifter. You know, when you have your blends markers, there's a color lifter you can purchase. And it really kind of bleaches out is what it does. It pulls some of that color away from what you're doing. Yeah, actually, I really like this dark cinnamon cider. It's actually not what I meant to grab, but I think it's looking really good. So there is my little deer. Now let's grab the lifter. And is it not where it's supposed to be? Of course it's not. Color lifter. Ah, there it is. Okay, so I will bring in, you can see how this guy has a little bit of shading, and I'm wanting to replicate that a bit. So I want to bring a little bit of lighter tone into his belly. Ooh, that's kind of, that's got a lot of liquid going there. I think that is not what I intended. So I'm going to blot that just a bit. And then I can bring the light back in and just give that a little bit more. Too much of a good thing there. Oh, now I just colored his whole belly. Oh well. He still has his white tail, but you can see the difference there. And I don't really like the way that came. Oh, should have left well enough alone and not stepped it up. Oh boy. That is really, really coming through. I've never had a blend do that before, but you know, it's never a dull moment. So let's see what we can do here to mop up the mess. Then we're going to add a little bit of flash to this, and I think you'll never know. I'm going to kind of leave that a minute and let it dry. And while that is drying, I'm going to bring in a little bit of color with our blending brushes. So let me grab a blending brush. Hey, Susan, I'm glad you're here. My simple card is actually turning out a lot better than my stepped up, because I kind of had a blodge with my color lifter, which I've never had before. But you know, there's always something to learn and something to see with our card making. Now I'm using Pool Party, and I'm using my blending brush to bring in a little bit of soft sky looking color here. And then I'm going to bring it down here and make a little bit of snow. We'll see if this is going to come out the way I intend or if it's just too much. I may just scrap the whole thing. But you know, that's what's fun. It's only paper, people. So, you know, if you mess up, you know, you just start over. Yeah, I'm not really liking that. That's too much. Definitely too much, I think. Well, I don't know. Not too bad. You know what I think? If we put a few snowflakes in, maybe that'll help. Snowflakes usually will cover a multitude of sins when you are stamping. So let's bring in this little snowflake stamp that is part of this set. You know, I'm not going to be happy with that. What's my time? Oh, my time is already there. He's really, yeah, he's just, let me grab another piece of paper real quick. That is just not going to work. Sometimes you just have to start over. Definitely need to look into what's going on with that particular stamp, because that's not the way it's supposed to work. Now let's add some snowflakes. So let's see how fast Candy can work. I actually have another Facebook Live to do. Hey, Melissa. After this, and I also have to go pick up, I got my husband, it's his birthday today, and I got him a something that I have to go pick up at Home Depot. So just in case he's watching, I don't want him to hear what it is. Okay, let's just go ahead and bring this in right from the beginning. Just a little wash. I think that was what I did wrong, was I put in way too much color. So we'll do a little sky like that with some snowflakes falling. I will also say that when you're adding any kind of sponging or blending, I know, Melissa, I did think I could have cut another one out, but I thought, well, I'll go for it this way. Because I was afraid it would cover, it kind of splodged outside the line. That was the part that I didn't want to, it just was not going to pass muster. So I thought, well, if I cut one out, it's not going to cover that up. So that's why I opted to just kind of, let's just make another one. Because they're quick. These are quick and easy cards. So I've got to get to Home Depot, and my son, the one that lives here in San Antonio, is going to help me. So I need, although, you know, they'll probably help me lift it in the car and everything, I just need to make sure that I figured it was one of those times where I need backup. Well, I've done the whole thing up a lot higher than, oh well. This is going to be a little bit different, and that's part of the fun. Okay, so let's bring in black. We're done with. Let's bring in, oh, the polar bear would have looked really good. Yeah, I could have put the polar bear right on top there. Let's bring in our shaded spruce, and let's do our trees. Now, we're going to bring them down a little bit because of my thanks. I can bring this one up here like so, because it's a lighter color. And then let's bring another one in down here. And then let's bring in just a little bit there. Okay. Totally different scene, but I like it. And you can see how that pool party works really well with the shaded spruce. So now let's put in our snow line right here, and we're going to leave, Candy. You're going to leave it alone because the snow line is already done there. It's white. Snow is white. The blue is just kind of helping us see it a little bit. And then once again, I am going to bring in my light cinnamon cider, which is a great color for deer. Those of y'all who are coming in here a little bit later, it's like the perfect color for deer. Who knew? But it's really a nice golden brown. And I will say, if you don't have the in colors that will be retiring in April of next year, I would urge you to get them. Cinnamon cider, Misty Moonlight's another one of my favorites from that group. And Bumblebee is another favorite of that group. And Just Jade, which is a lovely one. And also Magenta Madness. It's really, really bold, bright, but it does have its place in our lineup. So there, I've left him a little white belly, and I've left him a little bit of a white tail, because that's the kind that we have here in Texas. Now, this is our stepped up card. I've stepped him up with a little bit of blending brush ink. I'm also going to put some Wink of Stella on my deer, which is, I don't know how well it comes out on camera, but I can tell you that in person, it really adds such a lovely touch. And then what we're going to do is we are going to bring in my favorite embellishment, and that is these holiday rhinestones. And I'm going to use these shaded spruce rhinestones. And I'm not going to put them up in the the snowflakes. I'm actually going to put them down in the trees so that the trees are glistening with some bright, nice color. So we add a little bit of bling to the trees so that they are really coming out nicely. Now I have 4 left in my, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 4 on there instead of cracking open another package at the moment. I'm thinking that's really quite nice. I will say the little bits of sparkle really do add a lot. Here's my original. Oh, no wonder everything is lower. It's because I cut my cardstock wrong. But you know what? This is what we'll do. Let's see. Maybe what happens if we put a little bit of that. Oh, I like that. What do you think? I was going to put this on my envelope, but I think, you know, this is where when you make quote-unquote mistakes when you're stamping, a lot of times it's really just an opportunity for some creative license, as it were. And this needs to be, what did we say? It is 5 by 3.5. So I think I'm just going to go the whole 9 yards. And we're just going to cover the entire card front. 3.5. Okay, now I need this one to be 5. So let's bring that here. This was supposed to be my quick Facebook Live, and I'm already over on time, I can tell, but only a little bit, so we're doing good still. Now, one more little. Yeah, that cinnamon cider is going to be a happy mistake. So I could use this side with those little things behind, or yeah, I'm going to do here. Or I could. It's not a big difference. I think I like those little. Yeah, I think I like these little kind of, I don't know, the little stripy ones. So let's grab some. I will say that when you are doing this as well as the envelope, I do prefer to use the green glue. I use both of these. I say both of these. I use the green glue a lot, and I also use the seal a lot. To me, they just have different properties, and so I reach for them both regularly. You know, some people say, well, what is your favorite? What's your go-to adhesive? And I honestly, you know, like I said, depending on what I'm doing, I will reach for the green glue, or I will reach for the seal. The seal I love because it's so quick. Okay, that is there. And see, when you're wanting it to go like all the way flush, I think the green glue is the way to go. And then instead of bringing it down or up, I think I'm just going to center that, and I think it's going to end up being really cute. So now we have decided to step this card up with rhinestones, Wink of Stella, and some designer series paper. And let's do our dimensionals once again is the way that we are going to finish our card. And then this thank you card, I can guarantee you I am going to be using. I love to send thank you cards when during the holidays, just to say, hey, thanks for being such a great neighbor all year, you know. Our next door neighbors, we oftentimes, they're older than we are, oftentimes we will take care of their trash bins, wheeling them in from the curb for them. And because my husband had that procedure, that surgery, and all of the challenges that come with recuperation, they've been bringing them in for us. And, just having great neighbors, it's a great time to just say thank you. And, you could put a little something with your card if you had, if you wanted to put a few chocolates with it, great, but it's not necessary. Now, let's just do a little bit of envelope action here. So once again, this is when the green glue really, really comes in handy, because you want to get this designer paper flush all the way around to the edges, so that when this goes through the mail service, you don't want it lifting at all. I've got a little bit of glue coming there, so I will just do like that. And then I'm going to trim this off. And we have quick and easy, simple stamping, hashtag simple stamping for today's Facebook Live. I do want to just bring to your attention, if you are not already on my email list, I'll have the link here. That's the way to stay in touch with me on everything that's happening with my stamping world. And that way you get first notice of all my classes and all my notice of not Facebook specials, Stampin' Up! Specials. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Simple and stepped up stamping. Simple thank you cards made with the, what's it called? Peaceful Deer. I thought I was going to say Peaceful Deer, and I was second guessing myself yet again today. And so this is a really sweet way to say thanks during the holidays. I can't really decide which one I like best. I think the simple one is really, really outstanding. Stepped up a little bit. I like all those elements. I will say I like the addition of that cinnamon cider. That's probably my favorite part of this. So that is it for today. Make sure you are getting my email news, because I've got some extra events that are going to be coming up here on Facebook this month. So with it being a very compressed month for me personally, I have my in-person weekend retreat coming up this month. Of course, we have Thanksgiving this month. And I also have the Stampin' Up! On Stage, which is our big conference, and it's happening virtually. But it takes place over a whole weekend. So with all of that going on, I have a couple of extra Facebook classes that are going to be coming your way, some virtual classes, and you'll want to be in the know for those. So make sure that you are dialed in with my email news. So thank you so much for your design feedback. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you ever so much. And I will see you here Tuesday for Teach Me Tuesday. In the meantime, be sure to share my video. If you're watching from YouTube, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It helps me so much, and I appreciate that. Thanks so much. Take care, and God bless.